Hi, this is Dave Mass for HolmesCountyTicket.com. Welcome to Ticket TV, driven by Village Motors. We are joined in studio today by Hiland Hawks head soccer coach Scott Bodiker. Scott, welcome to the show.
Thanks for having me.
All right, Scott, the success of this program just continues to roll right along. What we want to talk about a little bit today here is keeping the kids kind of in that soccer mindset in the off season, in the summer in particular, when I know you guys do a lot of kind of traveling to different tournaments and just to keep the guys in that soccer frame of mind.
Yeah, we're fortunate to have a lot of kids who do multiple sports, and we really encourage that. And so, one of the benefits I think of that is giving them the opportunity to develop other parts of their body and other skills physically, keeps them mentally, I think, sharp. And so, in the summer, we've got guys going here and there a little bit sometimes with basketball and baseball, but we get the crew together pretty frequently, and again, try to make it fun and relaxed, but also as competitive as possible. Do some tournaments, use our coaching days, and one of the real benefits that we have is we have a very loyal group of alumni that comes out and plays with us frequently in the summer. And that keeps the level of play really high. We've got a number of college players and guys, former college players who come play with us. Makes a big difference for our program to have that quality of guy there to play regularly in the summer.
I think a lot of people that aren't real familiar with the sport of soccer just see it as a bunch of guys kicking a ball around, but the intricacies of soccer are such that if you don't play it a lot and you don't continue to work at it, the skills just simply aren't going to be there. So how important is it for you guys to continue to kind of implement those skills and drills and things that you do?
Well, yeah, absolutely. And, that's one of the challenges we do face is so often when kids get to us in the junior high level, we don't have some of the background in elementary school that some of the teams we play against do that have kids who are already year-round soccer players. And so, we start at a little bit of a disadvantage through the junior high into early high school. And again, we're comfortable with that. We want our kids to be doing other things and, figuring out what they like, don't like. And again, I believe in the value of them doing a variety of activities. But yeah, we're playing catch up, and particularly our skill level always develops pretty quickly. The issue for us is just the understanding of the game, where to be places, when to be there, the movement and the coordination as a team, that takes some time. And it's often for us, kids get to about their sophomore year when they really start to sort of, you really see that kind of catch on and explode for them. It finally clicks after 7th, 8th, and then 9th grade.
Now, you've been coaching for how many years at Hiland?
This is 15.
So you talk about the kids learning and developing, and even coaches tend to do that too, because it hasn't been that long ago that you actually switched kind of formations and went to something new. That was 2 years ago, I think?
Yeah, a couple of years ago. Yeah, as a coach, you're constantly trying to find a way to do things better and more effective. And we that year when we switched formations, a little bit of change in system. When we made that switch, we felt like it was the best for that year, and we were going to reevaluate on a year-to-year basis. But so far it feels like the changes we've made have really fit the personnel that we have. And so, yeah, at least moving forward, that's our plan. And now the first year we just started with the varsity, moved down to trying to teach that to the JV in year 2, and now hopefully moving down to trying to work at that a little bit at the junior high level is the next step, so that those kids, as they move up, will kind of know a little better what's coming.
And what's coming this year? You lost 6 solid seniors from last year's team, but you've got a really solid core back of talented, knowledgeable, experienced guys.
Yeah, we'll certainly miss those 6 seniors, but that's the name of the game in high school sports. You always are sad to see one group go, and excited to have another group have the opportunity to come in and raise their game and step up that to the leadership role. And we have 10 seniors this year, and those are guys who have had a lot of varsity experience, and a couple of guys who honestly have kind of had to wait their turn a little bit, and hopefully this year now they move out of that role player into the star player mode, and I think they're ready for that challenge.
Do you see this team being kind of an offensive-based team or a defensive team or kind of a combination of?
I mean, I think this team for us is pretty well rounded. We've got experience back offensively, which we didn't have last year, and honestly, we're probably a little less experienced at the defensive end. But even there, I feel okay because maybe we don't return starters, but we had guys who've played a lot. A couple of guys who we've shifted positions and are playing defense now that didn't before, and they've got experience at the varsity level. So I feel like this is a pretty balanced team. We've got depth where we need it at most every spot, and so I feel pretty good about that.
Expectations, again, as always, very high for you guys. Do you talk a lot about the encompassing goals of a season as you head into it with the kids, or is that something you want to wait till later to do?
Well, this year I think we've changed just a little bit about that. In the past, we've maybe waited a little bit, and I think with this group, feel like they're talented enough that really wanted to challenge them right from the get-go to set some higher long-term goals, but then also have some short-term goals along the way. I think sometimes we've done a good job of setting short-term goals, but maybe haven't had some of those long-term goals out there. And then other times maybe it's felt like, well, we've had these long-term goals, but we don't have the benchmarks that we need to along the way to help us know, are we progressing? So tried to be a little more intentional and better with that with this group. I've got some short-term goals in terms of practice, but also some short-term goals in terms of games that we're going to hopefully use to help us evaluate, are we progressing towards that long-term goal of hopefully getting past the regional level this year where we've been tripped up in the past.
So I guess on a kind of a sidebar note here, with World Cup going on, some excitement building there through that. Did your kids follow that? Did that help build any excitement or not?
I think over the last number of years, seen more and more of our kids as soccer is more accessible here on TV, through social media and all of that. We've seen more and more kids taking more of an active interest in following the game, which I think is good and certainly can't do anything but help us. And so we have some kids that are very aware and watched a lot, and some other kids that I'm sure didn't watch 1 second. So again, that's okay. High school sports are for all different kinds, and I do think it will build some enthusiasm and again just a knowledge base of having watched better players.
And then field situation wise, you got the track around you this year, so the field takes a little different shape. Not really any big effect there, is it?
No, I mean we had that. Last year the track was there. It was still kind of coming and growing. The grass is a little better this year. The track has created a little bit of drainage issues for us. So, we looked like a lake yesterday on our field. But, that's just is what it is. We'll make the best of it. But now the field's in great shape right now, and appreciate how hard they've worked to get it that way.
Well, if you haven't had a chance to get out and see the Hawks play in action in the past couple years here, Scott does a great job with the kid. He's got a great staff. They work hard. Fundamentally sound. They're a lot of fun to watch. If you really like soccer and like watching it like it's supposed to be played and not just banging it down the field and chasing after it, then the Hawks are certainly a program that you'll want to come out and watch. Scott, we wish you guys the best of luck this year.
Thanks very much.
Thank you for joining us. I'm Dave Mass for HomesCountyTicket.com.